This week's feature car is a Survivor 1973 Ford Maverick, owned by Bob Anderson. You may remember Bob as being the guy who also owns a gorgeous 1955 Ford Crown Victoria that was recently featured on this channel. This car is truly original, exhibiting only small brush touch-ups on the factory-sprayed light blue to mitigate some minor paint chips and scratches that it's gathered over the past 47 years. The interior is 100% original, just like it came from Ford. Other than missing spare tire and jack assembly, the trunk is also very authentic. The engine compartment and undercarriage are also a testament as to how a car like this probably looked when it was just a few years old. I'll let Bob explain why this car is so special to him.
My name is Bob Anderson. I live in Phoenix, Arizona. The Maverick I've had about 7 years. I found it at the Pomona Swap Meet in Pomona, California, which I've been going to since 1979. I've had swap spaces there since 1979 because I used to live in Southern California. I spotted this car for sale. It's from Silver City, New Mexico, and when the guy drove it from Silver City to Pomona, which was so I knew it was mechanically good. But I looked around it and I noticed it was all original paint. The interior was all original carpet, original motor with the stickers on the motor and all that stuff. But what I really liked was the rust-free factor, because I am into original, unrestored cars. And this 73 Maverick is probably one of the nicest original Survivor Mavericks on the planet for 1973. But when I spot original cars, I think a lot of people that know me know that when I go to car shows and stuff like that, when I find an original unrestored car, I focus on that. I don't care if it's a Nash Rambler. The originality is more important to me, which this Maverick has. Done nothing but rub out the paint because it was a little dull, but I knew it was original. So I knew it would rub out because I do a lot of detailing with a buffer. And the chrome is all original. The glass is all original, including the front windshield, which is unusual for a 40-some-year-old car. And I'm just going to drive it and enjoy it. I know a lot of my family members have future plans for it, but not yet. Just the originality of it. It's a Survivor. It drives like a brand new car. It doesn't, when you put the windows up, it doesn't rattle. It doesn't have air leaks. And that, to me, is really important. And it's a rust-free, 100% original paint car, documented. I've had several original cars. I enjoy this one here. And when I go to car shows and mostly car shows, people 10 to 15 years younger than me come up to that car. I had one of these. I had it in high school. My dad bought it for me in college. What I also like about this car, it's a V8. If it wasn't a V8, I probably wouldn't have bought it. And it does have the original build sheet, which indicates it was born with a V8.
In 1973, Ford Maverick was now in its 5th year of production and was still a great seller for Ford. The two-door body style essentially soldiering on again for this year with only minor changes since its inception. Since mid-year of 1969, the Maverick two-door sedan featured a long roof, fastback styling, and a short deck, all styling features revolutionized by the Ford Mustang beginning in mid-year 1964. The four-door, introduced in 1971, was also essentially unchanged for 1973. A distinctive feature was the pop-out rear side windows. This was not available on any four-door versions, only the two doors. This would continue to be a styling feature of the Mavericks and Comets through the end of production in 1977. Also making its debut this year was a newly designed glove compartment. Earlier years only had a package tray below the dash with limited storage capacity. Because of the 1973 oil embargo orchestrated by OPEC, overall sales of the Maverick, Torino, Mustang, Thunderbird, and full-size Ford cars were all down. However, sales increased significantly for the economical Pinto, which now had formidable competition from imports like the Volkswagen Beetle and Japanese cars from Honda, Toyota, Datsun, and Mazda, because Americans were now very concerned over fuel efficiency. Regardless, the Maverick was a commendable sales success. The Model 54A four-door sedan, now in its third year, rode on a wheelbase of 109.9 inches and tipped the scale at 2,852 pounds. The standard 62A two-door sedan had a 103-inch wheelbase and weighed in at 2,757 pounds. Finally, Body 62D, the sporty and sexy grabber, had the same wheelbase but weighed a bit more at 2,812 pounds. I should note that different sources reviewed for this video had differing numbers for model weights, probably due to the specific options of each example. Many features of the Maverick's earlier offerings carried over to 1973 because Ford figured, why mess with success? The most obvious significant difference was the new for the year debut appearance of the federally mandated impact-absorbing bumpers for all passenger cars, both front and rear. The front now had a standard of no visible impact damage to the bumper and surrounding components at 5 miles per hour or less, and the rear at 2.5 miles per hour with the same requirements. In 1974, the rear was respecified to 5 miles per hour, just like the front. In many cars, this new bumper design looked inordinately clunky, but other models actually looked quite contemporary. In my opinion, the Maverick and its Mercury cousin, the Comet, still looked nice proportionally, but not quite as attractive as the earlier small bumper cars. For 1973, Ford offered the Maverick as a standard 2- or 4-door sedan, both 2- and 4-door luxury decor option models, and grabber. The LDO, as it's often referred to, was quite popular. It was first seen in 1972 and continued through the end of the 1974 model year. This high-value option consisted of the following exterior features. On the interior, every occupant of an LDO model got to enjoy all these features every time they sat down and shut the door. Although these options were all available separately, ordering your new Maverick with the LDO or any other package or multiple packages was a tremendous value. In addition to the luxury decor option, the 1973 Mavericks were also available with various other packages. Individual options could also be ordered from those specified groups. Other options that were not part of the group and could be ordered one by one include Additionally, various tire and wheel options were available, depending on the model. One option that wouldn't be available until the following year was non-power front disc brakes. Power-assisted front binders would not appear in the option column until 1975, and manual discs were also still an option. Along with all of these options, let's now mention the 3 different engines that a buyer could order, from the 200 cubic inch 6 to the larger 250 cubic inch 6, and finally the 302 V8, as well as all the different available transmissions, either with the manual 3-speed or the C4 3-speed automatic, column-mounted, or floor shifter. The C4 was the only available tranny with the 250. Grabber continued to be an excellent seller. It was commonly known as the poor man's Mustang, but with the right combination of options, could equal or even exceed the retail price of Ford's original pony car in 1973. Exterior color choices were quite extensive for this popular Ford offering. Along with an optional vinyl top, upgraded side trim, the deluxe bumper group, and more. Adding a stunning color choice could really make a Maverick look like a much more expensive automobile. And what choices they had! 16 colors in all. Most were also used on other Ford Motor Company products, perhaps under a different name, or were carryovers from previous years, or may have been in use later. In addition, grabber could also be ordered in any single tone color, with grabber-specific graphics in a complementary color, or two specific combinations were just a checked box on a dealer order form away from becoming reality. The white and avocado and the white and orange paint schemes both had color-keyed graphics and looked really sharp, as did a grabber in any of the other obtainable colors. One interesting note on this year's grabber, the dual-scooped hood used on the first 2 years was now gone. These cars now use the standard Maverick hood. Really a shame since the early grabber hoods looked so cool. Inside, all Mavericks had interiors on one of 5 different colors: black, medium blue, ginger, beige, and avocado. Each model was seen with one of these contrasting colors. The only exception was the LDO cars. The basic Maverick 2 and 4-door sedans were standard with the random striped cloth and vinyl motif. Grabber was trimmed in an all-vinyl, heavily grained, supple, soft material, and this style and grain was also attainable in other models optionally, but again except for the LDO cars. In the 2-door models, individual high-back bucket seats could be ordered and were a sporty option. By the time the 1973 model year was over, Ford tallied up a total of 291,675 automobiles with the Maverick nameplate. Specifically, the 54A accounted for 110,382 units. The 62A was a solid sales leader at 148,943, and grabber accounted for the remaining 32,350 cars. Additionally, Mercury pushed 28,984 4-door Comets, along with 55,707 2-doors out of their showrooms by model year's end. The Maverick and Comet continued to be reliable sales leaders in their class until the end of the 1977 model year, when they were unceremoniously dropped and replaced by the all-new Fox body-based Ford Fairmont and Mercury Zephyr. In all, both the Maverick and Comet sold many, many units, so people today still really love them. In fact, these autos have gained and are continually to increase the interest necessary to make them a highly sought after with the collector car community. They're not just for small, hardcore group of enthusiasts, but are quickly becoming mainstream collector cars in their own right. Prices continue to climb, and if you have the chance to buy one, do it now, because no doubt their values will continue to go north. Many thanks to Bob Anderson for taking the time to show off his really sweet 1973 Ford Maverick to all of my friends here on YouTube. If you like this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button so you never miss my weekly videos. I also welcome your comments. If you have a vehicle with a fascinating story that you'd like me to showcase, you can email me at ifthiscarcouldtalk@gmail.com. Maybe you'll see it here and share your story with the world. Until next time.